What's up, guys? Invader1 here again, and I'm back this time with another Platinum solo. But this one is, guess what, guys? This is the second time ever anybody has ever soloed the Human Vanguard, and the guy who did it, his solo is awesome. You guys want to check it out? I'm creating a new Platinum Solo Hall of Fame kind of archive, and I will give you guys more information about it in the next few videos when it comes to Mass Effect 3. As I'm also playing Splinter Cell, and I just purchased a few of the games as well. I don't want to say anything yet because I want to go into them first, and you know who it is, guys. But I'm really proud of this because actually the other guy who did his platinum solo with the Human Vanguard, I thought it was awesome. It's just one of the best solos out there, and I wasn't upset, but I was just a little like disappointed in myself because I wanted to be the first. And it was pretty cool because the guy who did it, I believe he's a PC player, so the way he plays is a little different than the way I play. And I think he was playing against the Reapers, and I wanted to play against Cerberus because Cerberus is a little difficult for Vanguards because of the Phantoms. The Phantoms can really destroy your Vanguard, but it's like a give and take. The Vanguards are actually excellent against Cerberus, but they also get destroyed very much by Cerberus because of the Phantoms and the Atlases. If you notice, when I play against the Atlases, I play very differently. I play very cautious because just one shot just drops my character's barriers. The second shot brings him down to health gate. Third shot, I'm dead. So it's really tough. It's one of those kind of situations. And before I go into it, if you guys see me do something here, this is called power canceling. This is a little example of it. So I'm doing Nova real quick, but then I kind of cancel it by doing the flip animation, the roll animation. So just in case you guys are ever curious about why my barriers didn't go down in that instant, that's what you do, is power canceling. It's kind of like reload canceling. You're about to finish your Nova, but right before you just do a little dodge, and it keeps your barriers up, but it doesn't have the effect the power effect that you want. Now, there's a few things about this. The reason I wanted to do this is because I love the Novaguard. This guy is called the Novaguard because this is just a biotic charge and a Nova build. There's no shockwave involved in it. And the thing about this guy is that you guys, a few of you guys saw me on my live stream that I did a few weeks ago, and on that live stream I used the Novaguard on a team game. Now, team games I play way more aggressive than this. This is like very. I never like wait for the enemy in some instances because when you have a full team, the enemy is looking at different people, and I'm just going around just picking off the Phantoms. That's what I do with this guy. I pick off Phantoms. If you see throughout this entire gameplay, I'm going around looking for Phantoms because they're worth so much, and this guy just destroys them. But in the team games, I used this guy in a platinum game versus, I think it was versus Reapers or Cerberus. And I was just destroying everything, and people were like, "Whoa, wait a second! I've never seen anybody play him like that." On the console, or besides that one solo that was out there, most people don't post a lot of videos. With this guy, and I love this guy. This is one of my really favorite characters. I'm very good with Vanguards, guys. If you guys ever watch me or meet me in a public match or in a team game together, you'll notice it. And I play way more aggressive than this, way more aggressive, because with a team, you know what's going on. The enemy's a little distracted. I take advantage. I face Banshees head on, and I do that in this solo as well. You will notice I will be just right in front of a Banshee, just Nova guarding her, just charging and Nova. And I want to talk about the build a little bit as well, to talk about why I can do that and why this build is very powerful. And it's very good. I am lacking in consumables, so I didn't have like a power amplifier module 4, and I didn't have disruptor rounds 4 either, so that was disappointing. But still, as you can notice, even without all that, he is just still a beast of a character. He's absolutely awesome, and he can just destroy on platinum. And I love using him on platinum because there are a lot of people that just there's this whole mentality that you can't use certain characters on platinum, and that doesn't make any sense to me. You guys already know me from the beginning. You can play everything and anything on platinum as long as you know how to play your character, as long as you know how to play as a team player as well. That's a good thing, because then you know how your team is playing, where to take advantage of the situation, meaning if your team is distracting an enemy, then you can go right ahead and just knock the enemy out and and do what you need to do to help the team to be successful. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense, and that's why I'm doing a lot of these platinum solos to kind of show, hey, these are awesome, they're a lot of fun to do, and at the same time, kind of, you know, a lot of you guys send me these challenge requests, and I got this challenge request a long time ago, but again, I've been so focused on team games, and now I'm really focused on the new games, so I'm trying to take out time to just do these challenges. And this one, it's been near and dear to my heart for a long time, and I didn't want to fight against Reapers. I didn't want to fight against any other faction but Cerberus, because guys, I wanted you guys to see how great he is against Phantoms, how great he is against Dragoons. Although sometimes in a situation like this, sometimes the Dragoons can drop you. You just got to be very careful what you want to do with this guy. And before I go into the tactics of how you want to use him against Dragoons specifically and Phantoms, let me talk about his build a little bit. This is a specific build which I have shown on this channel before. This is the Novaguard, and let's talk about it now. Biotic Charge. It's very important that you spec it out this way. Rank 4, you want radius like that. You can hit multiple enemies. It's very important if you're surrounded by 3 Phantoms or 3 different Dragoons like that. You're damaging all of them when you're jumping, like you're biotic charging right in front of them. So you want to be able to stagger all the enemies that you're charging into, not just one. So I always go for radius on biotic charge, in all honesty, because of that. And the other thing that I go for in rank 5, you want power synergy. Increase the power damage and force by 40% for 10 seconds after a successful biotic charge. And that is great because since you're going to be using Nova quite a bit right after your biotic charge, or before, sometimes, depending on the situation, when I'm behind a wall and I just want to, you know, Nova has a good radius. But still, this gives you a bonus. This makes your Nova 40% more powerful by doing this. Rank 6, Barrier. Increase barriers by an additional 50% after a successful biotic charge. So what's great about this, by setting it up this way, you get your barriers back 100%. So every time you're out of barriers, you just, you know, you do your biotic charge and go right for it. And the biotic charge set up this way, it has a force over 1,000. It is 1,072.5 N. And it's only 660 damage. It's not a lot of damage on biotic charge, but the way you want to play with him, and again I'm going to talk about that, is it's very important that you have over 1,000 minimum force on your biotic charge, because that's the only way you can stagger Phantoms. And to stagger Phantoms with your biotic charge, you need or anything, and you need at least 1,000 force to be able to stagger Phantoms. So let's go into Nova. Nova is an awesome power. The only thing about Nova, and this is the annoying part about Nova, is that it drains your barriers. But the way I have it spec'd out here, it gives you at least minimum 2 Nova blasts. And as you will see, the way I have it spec'd out here, it's really good. And it does great damage against Banshees, especially when you'll see later on the Banshee waves. The Banshee waves are actually wave 8 and wave 9. And you will see how I fight Banshees with this guy just head on. I mean, I kite them around a little bit because I want to get the wave done, but I just take them head on, once I've kind of singled them out. So let's go into Nova. Nova, you want to go for force and damage on rank 4. The radius is cool because it increases the radius, but guys, you want more damage on this because it's not as it doesn't have a lot of damage. So you want to take advantage of all the damage that you can to be able to play him this way. Rank 5, forget power recharge. I'm not gonna say it sucks, but it's not necessary. Go for half blast. And check it out. It says gain the option to use Nova 2 times in a row by reducing its barrier consumption by 50%, but at the cost of reducing damage and force by 40%. So you reduce damage and force, but you get 2 Nova Blasts, and that's really good, especially in your team games, because sometimes, let's say you want to do your biotic charge and then a Nova Blast, but then you're like, oh wait, I gotta get out of here. At least you still have half your barriers to sustain 1 more hit. But let's say if you didn't have this, then you will only get 1 Nova Blast, and at that moment you don't have any barriers, so you can't even go down to what I guess shield or barrier gate, I guess you can call it. So if you don't have any barriers, then the enemy's just 1-shotting you or 2-shotting you, you're done. And you don't want that. So I go for half blast. I think it's absolutely great. The other thing is, now these rank 6 both are really good. Sustain is great. This is normally what I use for gold games, sustain. That means that Nova gains a 25% chance of not using a barrier. So there are times that if you set it up this way, if you play gold, silver, and bronze, you can put it on sustain, and what will happen is that there are times that you can do about maybe 4. I think the maximum Novas that I've done have been like maybe 5 at one time. That was one time I did like 5 Novas. It was crazy. I was able to do it. It just kept on. The sustain worked. So that's what it does. It allows you to. It gives you a percentage, a chance that it might not drain your barriers, and because of that, you're able to do more Novas over and over and over. But I go on rank 6. I'm going for Pierce because I'm using it on Platinum, and Pierce is great for armor targets. That's why I use it mostly against Banshees and even Atlases. But Atlases I don't mess with too much on a solo. So you guys see me. I'm a little hesitant the way I play with them. I strip their shields first and drop them down to like maybe 2 bars, and then I charge them and you know, use my Nova on them because they're so OP against Vanguard. They're so powerful. Each shot just destroys them. But Pierce, it says increase damage to barriers, shields, and armored targets by 100%. Okay, so 100% of the base damage is increased here. So that's awesome. The damage already is 577.50. That's for each blast here, and the force is 742. So you really can't stagger. You can stagger smaller enemies, but not phantoms. The radius is 5 meters, so the radius is already good. That's why I don't go for radius. Rank 4, it's already decent. Alliance training normally if I would go for weapon damage here, but you really want your biotic charge and Nova to be very powerful, so you want to go for damage and capacity in rank 4. You know, increase the power damage, and the same thing rank 5, power damage, and rank 6 this is the one time that you can pick weapon damage. And by doing this, you get a 20% weapon damage bonus. Guys, his weapon damage bonus it's not weak. It's actually pretty decent. That's 20%. The power damage bonus is set up this was 35%, which is what you want, and the weight capacity bonus is 30, which you need it because you need his power recharge to be very light. That's why I picked the weapons that I picked. And the health and fitness, just go with all health, you know, all the ones and bottoms. Now, let's talk a little bit about the weapons. Now, there are many weapons that you can use with this guy. Now, before I go into the weapons that I did use, for those of you guys who like to go old school or do some crazy stuff, you could actually put a claymore on the Vanguard. And I've done it. Guys, you could put a claymore on the Vanguard. Use biotic charge, claymore, shoot, claymore, biotic charge, claymore, biotic charge, Nova. You could actually use a claymore. It makes this guy really powerful. But that's a very niche playstyle. But I just letting you know, you could put heavy weapons on them. You just got to play very differently, and you know that's all I have to say about that. You know, for these of you guys who didn't know, you could put heavy weapons on this guy and just play him as a charge, Nova, shoot, charge, Nova, shoot, charge, Nova, shoot, that kind of situation. The weapons that I use with him is the Acolyte because since I was going against Cerberus, I wanted to show you guys how great he is against Cerberus by using the Acolyte, especially against Phantoms. And the reason I chose the Acolyte instead of the Talon is also really good. The Talon is a great weapon for this guy because it does great damage against armor. It applies the ammo effect immediately, so you can do your charge and do tech bursts. If you're using disruptor rounds or incendiary rounds, you can do fire explosions right away. You just do one shot on the enemy, and the ammo type is applied, and you can do your biotic charge, or Nova or Shockwave, whichever one of those powers, and you can detonate. So that's a great thing. But I went with the Acolyte because I prefer the Acolyte in this situation for my playstyle with this guy, because the Acolyte allows me to use disruptor rounds on a Phantom and strip their shields immediately, just one shot, and then I can biotic charge and then drop them with the Nova. So literally, if you watch the entire gameplay, it's one hit with the Acolyte, one biotic charge, and then one Nova, and the Phantom is dropped. The only situations that you see that the Phantom is not dropped immediately is if I do the Nova, if the radius doesn't hit her all the way, or if I'm in a little corner or something like that and I don't get the full effect on her. So that's the only time you get that. The other weapon that I go to is an SMG. I like to bring SMGs. And there are a lot of you guys who are Hurricane fans. Hurricanes are great. You can use the Hurricane on this guy. I prefer the Collector SMG. As you can see here, just watch when I fight the Atlases. Look at this. I mean, it's just a Collector SMG. It's just dropping them. And what you want to do is you want to put the high velocity barrel. It gives you some armor piercing. It allows bullets to pierce .65 meter thick objects. and ignores 90% of an armored target's defenses. So once you strip down the shields in an Atlas, you can go to town with the Collector SMG because it's just so accurate. Okay, it's so accurate. The Collector SMG. That's what I like about it. It's just so accurate, and you know it's unlimited ammo, so I don't have to keep on going back and getting more ammo, which I needed on this kind of solo because this guy is just going all over the place, and you don't always want to go to the ammo box because if somebody gets sight of him, any of the enemies just get a line of sight on this guy. Well, he's dropped, and sometimes some of these ammo boxes are pretty open. Like the one right next to me is pretty open. I've had solos where I've gone to that ammo box and I just get shot on my back. So it's one of those kind of situations where I kind of wanted the Collector SMG for this. It's a great gun. I love it. And I'm using the SMG magazine upgrade. That's pretty much the only thing you need on this. And the high velocity barrel. I'm not going with the with the SMG power magnifier. The SMG power magnifier is another thing you can do if you don't want the extra ammo and you're fine with just using it very lightly. That's totally fine as well, especially if you're in a team game. You can put the power magnifier and get the 30% as well. And the high velocity barrel, you can do that. I went for more ammo because I was using this on Atlases and I wanted to just get a lot out of one round of burst firing at the Atlas. And it's a great gun. If you're in a team game, you might want to go for the for the power damage on the Collector SMG. You could go for the power magnifier. But for, let's say, you're doing a solo or something like that, then you might want the magazine upgrade. So that's what I did here with this guy. Let's talk about how you play with this guy. Right? So what I do a lot is I actually look for Phantoms in this game, because with the Phantoms, like I was saying before, I'm using the Acolyte. I strip her barriers, just one shot, strip her barriers, biotic charge to stagger her, and then a Nova to drop her. That's most of what I'm doing in this entire game. With Atlases, enemies that are Atlases like that, you just want to strip their shields. You don't want to charge them too much. You could charge them and do your Nova, but you're better off doing your Nova, kind of staying back a little bit and just shooting at them using your weapon, because the Atlases are very OP. Their shots, their 4 shots are so powerful, and they'll drop you. They'll just destroy you with it. So you definitely want to kind of keep your distance, and you can't charge Atlases if you're in a team game. The only thing is that you're in danger of getting picked up or getting insta-killed. They're getting choke slammed. And the way to know when to charge an Atlas, okay, let's put it better this way. Do not charge an Atlas after the Atlas has done his heavy melee, which is he punches down on the ground, or he swings his arm. Now, the moment you see he does that, he punches to the ground, do not biotic charge him. The moment you biotic charge him, right there, he'll pick you up in the middle of the air and he'll insta-kill you. Okay? Do not biotic charge him. So I'm going to be very clear. You want to learn how to play a Novaguard on Platinum, and you want to just like tear everything up. Make sure you use most of your weapon, and when you do charge, you know when to charge and when not to charge. So that's when you do not charge an Atlas. He punches down on the ground. That means that the moment you charge him, at that instant, you're instantly killed. You're insta-killed. Now, after he does that, what you have to do is wait a moment till he starts shooting again, or he moves again. So then, at that moment, you could start biotic charging him again. But I'm telling you, the moment he punches down, don't charge him. Now, with Brutes, the same thing. With Brutes, you see that they swing when they do their charge, and they swing, and it looks like they've done that major swing. You could get away with one biotic charge, but you have to get away, because that means that they have already done their heavy melee, and they're ready to kill. So their insta-kill animation is ready. So if you do not get away after that biotic charge that you just did, well, the Brute is literally going to pick you up and choke slam you to the ground. So that's another clue, another thing. And I'm just giving you guys the tips on how to use this guy on Platinum, because you gotta know these things when playing a Novaguard. You can't just play a Novaguard and then just get killed every match, every wave. You really have to understand how to play this guy. By understanding the enemy animations, that definitely helps you out. Now with Banshees, what about Banshees? You can charge Banshees as well. The only thing is, don't charge Banshees when they are blue, when they are teleporting through the map. Charge Banshees when they stop, not when they're walking either. If they're walking towards you, don't charge them. You have to make sure that they have stopped. They're either trying to shoot you with a warp ball, or they're just in that animation where they're doing their own Nova yell. Okay, so you can do stuff like that. So you see this Banshee, I am actually, and this is the other thing, you can take her, like, this is what I do. I actually go on this incline. You gotta wait till she starts getting on it. You see, I waited a little bit just to make sure, because sometimes you'll think she's there, she's just at the edge, and she can still insta-kill you. So if you notice, because of Pierce, I'm using Biotic Charge and Nova, and Nova's actually taking off at least 1 bar of armor on her, which is great. Look at this, down to 2 bars, and the Banshee is pretty much almost dead because of that. And you notice here, I waited because she was about to warp. Her animation changed. I said, okay, even though my barriers are down, let me wait a moment so that she could move a little bit, and she did. She went up to the ramp and allowed me to kill her, because if I would have charged her right there where she finished her animation, she started to do her charge, I would have been, she would have insta-killed me. So it's understanding the enemy, understanding their animations is very, very, very important, especially for insta-kill units. For Primes and Geth are very easy for this guy. The only thing is that the Geth really destroy him a lot, like the Primes. The Primes, like every other enemy, it's fine. Even the Pyros, you want to stay away, really. You don't want to charge them too much. I mean, you can, but you got to be careful. If you have 2 Pyros in a specific situation, if you really don't get that, you really don't get that damage that you're supposed to get from the Nova Blast, or from your radius, then you want to be careful, because they'll just 1 hit of that flamer will drop you. This guy has no barriers, no shields. This guy's got, I think, about 909. In fact, let me check for you guys. He's got 825 health and 825 barriers. Guys, it's nothing. He's got nothing. So this entire game, I'm running around with 825 barriers and 825 health, which is, it's insane. But the way you can play with this guy this way, you never want to use Cyclonics. Cyclonics are a waste on this guy. He's got such little barriers. You want to play this guy right. That's all you want to do. You want to learn how to play him. You want to learn when to use your Biotic Charge. You want to know when to go, when not to go, when to Nova, when not to Nova, and that's, you gotta also play carefully. So this gameplay, I believe it's actually really good, even though on the live stream I played a lot more aggressive, and you guys got to see that, and I kind of wish I would have recorded that. For some reason I didn't get to live stream. It usually records a video on Twitch, but the thing is that I don't know why it didn't keep it. And then I totally forgot to kind of save it. I would have loved to have saved that and showed it, on Platinum, because I think the only other Novaguard videos that I have on the channel with the builds are on Gold. So in that gameplay, when I play with a team, I play a lot more aggressive, but still here in these situations, you can see, even in the solo, how you would go about. This is a situation I couldn't Biotic Charge. Both the Phantoms kind of they cloaked. You can't charge in that moment. You may see them with the Geth scanner, but you can't. Anyway, so I play a lot more aggressive, but I pick my kills. And the way you want to play with this guy, forget the boss enemies. Let everybody else take care of the boss enemies. If anything, if you're concerned about score or something, or you really just want to get a piece of a boss enemy, then just shoot at them here and there. But what you want to do is go for everybody else. You're a Vanguard. You're supposed to be making trouble and keeping all the mooks in place. That's what a Vanguard does. A Vanguard he's in your face kind of fighter. So what you want to do is just go after everybody else. You're playing against Cerberus. Go after all the Phantoms. Go after forget the Atlases. Go after everybody, all the Centurions, even the Guardians. Just whip out your Collector SMG or your SMG or whatever gun you have, or your Claymore, and just go after them. So that's a good thing right there. The other thing is that when it comes to the ammo types that I agree with this guy, I will tell you they're all great. The only thing is that one of my favorite ammo types is not the one you want. Oh, that's just so stupid. I knew I should have given my bag to that Ravager. I'm watching the gameplay and I'm just like, oh, these are some of the mistakes I made. But it's kind of tough still. It's really tough, because this is one of those characters that's flying through the map, and it's different. It's different. You guys, the gameplay is not as structured as I normally show you guys. Mostly because I think I've shown you guys how to play Firebase White quite a bit on Platinum. So I think by now, if you haven't, this is your first video, then welcome to the channel, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching this video, and hopefully you can check out the Novaguard or the Human Vanguard. I think it's called Pugging Gold or something like that. I'll see if I can put it on the description so you guys can see that video as well. But you know, the other thing is, guys, that if you're playing if you're playing this game on Platinum and you're really worried about how to survive, these are the kind of tips that will keep you alive, and at the same time it'll make it a lot of fun for you, because you'll be going throughout the entire game just going after mooks, just going after little enemies and just messing them up. Even the bigger targets like Ravagers, look at that, Ravagers are nothing to this guy. So the way this guy works, he staggers and he does a lot of damage, and he just, forget it, he just destroys enemy by detonating the ammo types, which is a great thing. So the ammo types, like I was saying before, that are great with him are all the ammo types except for well, not except for, because using warp rounds are good with him if you have somebody else in the team who has biotic powers, but they really don't do anything for this guy, because his powers are more detonating powers. They're not anything that applies a biotic effect. So what I recommend with this guy is not warp rounds, actually incendiary rounds, disruptor rounds, even phasics are good with him, and you know, and guys, the explosive rounds I can't stand. I mean, you could use them on this guy, that's fine, but I guess you can get an extra stagger or something, but I really don't care for explosive rounds. So I would say if you're going to use any rounds on him, disruptor rounds for tech burst, and you see me do quite a bit of tech burst. I kill Atlases by tech bursts, and Phantoms tech burst, Dragoons tech burst. So I would just go with every other ammo type. Incendiary rounds, disruptor rounds are great, but those are the two. Those are the two for this guy. Those are the two best: incendiary and disruptor. You know, cryo is decent as well. Don't get me wrong, cryo's okay, but really disruptor to get tech burst. They're easier to get out. Incendiary rounds to get fire explosions, which seem to be the most powerful and easiest to get. Plus, they do damage over time. I mean, you know, who doesn't like damage over time? So the best ammo types, let's rank it up, okay? If I were to use the best ammo types for this guy, would be the top two would be incendiary and tech burst. Everything else is just secondary. That's about it. That's all there is to it. So those are the ammo types that allow this guy to be very effective, to do tech bursts, to do fire explosions, and to allow him to really destroy enemies with efficient power and magnitude. Let me just put it at that. There you go. Nova kill on the Banshee. So as you guys can see, I take Banshees to an elevation and I mess them up. But even if I wasn't in an elevation, you could just wait for her animation and know when to do it. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna go enjoy continuing creating other gameplays for you guys. This is a little record-breaking thing here. This is the second ever Human Vanguard Platinum Solo in Mass Effect 3 history that has been recorded, and I'm glad to be able to do it for you guys. You guys are awesome. I do this for you guys. It's a challenge. I enjoy it, but I think it's really cool to be able to say, hey, you know, you guys subscribe to me for a reason. So I like to do these challenges and just do them, you know, and they're really a lot of fun. It's another one in the book, you know, and it's just something that you guys can say, oh man, this is cool. Invader actually did this, you know. This is he actually, even better late than never, right? Because I was very focused on team games in the beginning, and I'm still doing some of those team games. But I am, since I've been doing a lot of other games right now, I want to make sure that I get those playthroughs in, and I want to get a lot of other playthroughs for other games and expand the channel a lot more. So these next few weeks, as you notice, I'm posting a lot more other games. But still, I want to make sure that I am going to continue doing Mass Effect 3 until the servers die out, until the game is dead, you know, until it's over. I definitely will continue doing Mass Effect 3 as we love the game, and I want to make sure we, you know, do as many of the challenges as possible. One of my goals, ultimate goals, is to be able to solo every map on Mass Effect 3, and that's one of my goals. I'm working on Condor, guys. I've gotten really close. For those of you guys who know me from the BioWare social network, you guys already know I posted print screens of my my last 3 attempts. I had a 4th attempt and a 5th attempt, and all those attempts I made it to wave 10. But that wave 10 is so tough. I'm doing it versus collectors, so that's a tough situation for Condor. But I will complete it. I've been able to successfully get through those waves, so I know I will complete it. I just need to get I just need to be able to somehow figure out that last wave 10 and get it done. And I've gotten close, so it's going to be great to be able to do that. It's very rare people solo on Condor because it's a really tough map to solo on. And as you guys know, I'm going through the maps, so that's one of my goals. You guys will definitely see those solos, and I hope that you guys enjoy them. And this one I wasn't going for flawless, guys. I wasn't going for 10 wave survive. I just went ahead and just did a standard solo. That's why it's not over an hour. So it's under an hour. It's like 54 minutes or something like that. I would have been able to cut it a little shorter, but I wanted to keep my missiles for wave 10, and it totally helped out that I did that. It totally made a difference because I got a hack objective. Oh, this pissed me off. I didn't know where this guy was. I would have had another gel. Anyways, anyway, I got to wave 10 and I had a hack, and I was able to do the hack and just pretty much hang out by the hack and destroy any phantom that came to me. And what I did is once the hack finished, all the enemies were grouped up. So I used my nuke and just destroyed an Atlas, destroyed 2 Banshees. It was great. It was delicious. It was so good. So having the 3 missiles at the end really helped out. So I try to speed it up a little bit more. I could do a little bit more speed run type. You guys know I do speed runs, but when it comes to these solos, I prefer to actually just play them as I can. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoy this solo. I hope that you enjoy the rest of it. Thank you for being awesome. You guys are great subscribers. If there are any other questions in regards to the Novaguard, the Human Vanguard, please let me know. If you have any other challenge requests, just post them on the comment box. I will do my best to get to them. I will continue, as I said before, I will continue doing Mass Effect 3, inclusive with other games as well. So I want to make sure that you guys subscribed for Mass Effect 3 and other games, but at least for Mass Effect 3, you guys will still see some really cool content and some amazing challenges, as I'm trying to do some of the things that haven't been done before, and try to do really some amazing challenges as well, which I'm enjoying a lot, thanks to you guys. Alright, so take care, Invader 1 out, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for being awesome.